Dear friends of Love for Volleyball, amor por el voleibol, I'm pleased and honored to talk today with a professional volleyball player, ex-player and coach, and from Belgium, world champion with Poland, and a winner of an enormous number of medals with different teams. I mean Vital Heynen, who's today with me talking about his volleyball career. Hello, Vital, how are you?
Good morning, good evening, because I think we are how many hours difference between you and me? 10 hours, I guess. So I don't know where we are, but how am I? I start to be a bit tired because it's evening and you start to wake up, something like this, but I feel very good.
Fantastic. And Vital, tell me please, first of all, when did you start playing volleyball and why did you choose volleyball as your sport?
Well, I started, I don't know, 12, 13 years. Mm-hmm. And I have to be fair, it was not my choice in the sense of I played football and I was not so bad. And I had a fight with my coach. Already then I was difficult as 12-year. And so I didn't like to go to football anymore. And the only sport in my village was volleyball. So that was the only choice. So I went from football to volleyball, and that way, I mean, like I always say, I think it's important that people are doing team sports, for sure young people, but I will never make a difference. I will never say that basketball is bad and volleyball is great. And I don't know, I think it's good to learn to play together. It's something so important, and it doesn't matter which sport, but this playing together I like.
Absolutely agree with you. And tell me please, when did you start playing with bigger teams? I know today via YouTube we can watch you play as a setter when you was young, and we know that in Belgium, as I talked with Jan De Brandt, volleyball is a important sport, but not obviously as football. But when did you start playing with your school, with the clubs? How was it for you to see that you were improving, playing better? How was it for you and this first time as a young player, watching and realizing that volleyball was important for you?
I mean, I come from a small village, about 10 kilometers away from a city where there's a big club. Mm-hmm. So I think already when I was like 16 years, I went to this big club. Mm-hmm. And I started to play with professionals. I think yes. I was 16 years when I started to play in a professional club. Mm-hmm. And in that club, I played 20, how long? I played about 20 years in that club, and I coached 5 years. So wow. I'm a very boring guy who stayed 25 years in the same club in the same circumstances. So in that way, my volleyball career is easy. I went to this club. The club was then only the halfway, like the number 5 or 6 of Belgium. Mm-hmm. And then the club became better, and I won with that club, I don't know, 14, 15 times the title in Belgium. So I have to be honest, I forgot how many times, but a lot of times. Okay. Yeah, a lot of times we won. Yeah, and I don't know why. It was a time that there were very few, like for example, Italy was only one foreigner allowed, and it was not so easy to go to another country. So stayed in your own country, and volleyball was, I would say, even bigger in Belgium on that moment than now. Mm. It was really a growing sport, whereas I have my doubts now. In that moment, Belgium volleyball, where we talk about the 90s, was really big. So there was a lot of reasons for me to stay. My club was, I think I played 2 times the final of the Champions League. Mm-hmm. That means that I was 2 times, we lost 2 times the second best team of Europe. Mm-hmm. So my Belgian club was not so bad. Mm-hmm. So in that way, I stayed in a decent to good club all my life. And I had I was always there. Nothing else, very easy.
And tell me please, and when did you start or thinking or maybe I don't know what happened to your in your mind when you thought, okay, volleyball, I like volleyball, I played 20 years in this club and I will continue with volleyball as a coach. When did you think or do you remember when was that moment that you thought, okay, volleyball is my life, I want to coach it now? Do you remember it or what was it? that you decide to make your life from volleyball?
I mean, I was not like I told. I was not an easy player. I was a player with an own opinion. So I think with almost every coach I had, I was fighting. So I guess I had good coaches, but I was still not agreeing with the coaches. And I think I was like 35, and so my last year plan was I studied university. I have a university degree in commercial engineer. So at 35, I thought I'm gonna finally work. Yeah, but then I was again not agreeing with my coach. And I told the club that, but I can do this. Now I want to coach. I want to show that I can do different. I mean, and I have to tell to all my coaches, sorry, coaches, because often they were right. But I was not so easy. I took another road, and I think that's what I was doing. I started to coach with the idea I will only coach like 1 year, just to show that it can be in a way. And coach 2 years, and then I coached 3 years, and then I coached 15 years, and then I stopped last year. And I was thinking, like, what am I going to do now? And how I made a switch from men volleyball to women volleyball to see if I can coach there also. So I never think in long term. So I always think one day, very fast, I will stop. But as long as I have fun in this, I will go on.
Fantastic. And what you're telling me makes many sense to me. What you're telling about your passion about volleyball, your fighting spirit with your coaches. I don't know, and we can see, and we have seen you in coaching, for example, Poland or Germany, or the female of team of Germany now, that you have a special style of coaching. I spoke with Jan, and he told me the same. You are a very passionate person in the court, with your players, with the rivals. So it's your trademark, and it's fantastic to watch this passion put in the objective to win, obviously. And as I told you before, I watched you playing in YouTube as a setter, and it was the same. It was a setter with so much passion, this will to win. And we can tell it's like your style. And I wanted to ask you, when you started to coach in Belgium, you moved then to Turkey, if I'm not wrong, and you made a coach career. And how was it for you when you started to win, to go to the other countries, and finally, maybe I'm wrong, you coached the German male team, and you qualified for the London Olympic Games. How was it for you to see that your clubs, your teams, go stronger, won more championship? How was it for you to realize that your passion, your style was making good goals? How was it for you?
But I first want to come back on my style. So I'm not. I look, because I am like I am. I promised myself that I will coach like Vital Heynen is.
Okay.
And I will coach like this with children from 13. I started in my first year. I was coaching also a team of boys of 18.
Okay.
And I promised myself always, I love it. Young boys are so interesting. I will always do the same. And somewhere I fail, but at least I will be proud of myself that I was doing the same. So I didn't want to change, and I don't want to change my style.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and some like it, and some people don't like it, and some people criticize it. And I think, sorry guys, Vital Heynen is like this. I am passionate. I can shut up. If I don't agree with you, I will tell it you. I will tell it clear. But I can also, I think, for example, I fight so much with referees.
Yes.
Well, I think the most are my best. They're my best friends, because after the match, I can go to them and say, great job. And I mean that. They know that I mean it. They also, if I fight, they also believe in my fight. Yeah. And afterwards, I can like go there and be like, I think Amaya has a very good relation with them. Fantastic. Yeah. And I think that's me. I show myself how I am, and that I want to do all my life. Yeah. And I think it's easy. It's easy for me. I can behave how I feel out of the court, on the court. in interviews or not in interviews. It's easy for me. I don't have to think for an interview with you what I have to tell, because I just tell what I feel. And I guess that I tell the same things for the last, not the same, but about the same things. So that's about my concept. It's like I tell every young coach, also young coaches listening here, you can listen to me. Mm-hmm. You can take one of two elements from me, but please don't copy me.
Okay.
But make your own way. Take things from every coach and look to who you are. It's your character who is deciding how you coach. It's not me. It's not you, Mr. Cabero. It's the character of the coach self, and he has to find his way, and he can use elements from us. And that's what I tell to everybody. Like, you have to be your own style. And I mean, I learned that the lucky thing is that my way was sometimes successful. So it's possible, but I know there's so many different ways to be successful.
Absolutely.
I always give the example, like, for example, a famous Italian coach, Fefe De Giorgi. Yeah, and I like him a lot. And I know that his way is totally the opposite of my way. And who won the world championship? Fefe De Giorgi. Yeah, and I smile. You see, there are more ways to win. Yeah, and that we have to accept. And that's sometimes difficult for other coaches. Yeah, like, there are more ways to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there is no one road. Yeah, and that is what I always tell to coaches. And I answer your question. Your question, how I felt like I was always surprised that my way kept on working. Like, I won in Belgium the championship. Like, wow, it's working.
Yes.
And I won, my team in Belgium started to be good, European level. And wow, and I went to Germany. Like, till I was world champion. Like, wow. My system was working till world champion. And now I don't know. Now I have to go to women's volleyball. I have to go to women's volleyball to see how it's going there. So that is, I think, the logical thing. And yeah, that's why I also enjoy being a coach, because I do it in the way I like it. I had a fight here in Bursa 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Listen, girls, if you train like this, I'm not here for me. I'm here because I love it.
Yes.
And like, you train like this, I don't love it, then we have a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I talked long about it, and nice, and the day after I trained amazing, because it's about, you have to love your training.
Fantastic.
Love what you do. Yeah. And that's my way of thinking.
Fantastic. It's so interesting what you're saying. I remember this. It's very personal, because my father, he's a sport teacher. He was a volleyball coach. He was a player, and I saw him all the time when I was young, coaching his team with also passion, with his blood. He put all his effort to transmit what he was feeling about volleyball, what he was thinking. I also have the great opportunity to interview coaches like Kirli or for example Andrea Gianni from Italy, and all what you are saying make many sense to me, because there are so many styles for coaching. There are so many kind of volleyball ambitions, but the passion that you put in your teams, and that you put in your tactics, in your visualization of volleyball is so powerful. I felt this. I feel this when I watch you coach your teams, when I watch you fighting with the rivals or the referees. I don't know, but it's fantastic to see you and to hear you. And I wanted so many times to talk with you. I know you're very busy, but for me, what you are doing, what you have done, it's amazing. It's amazing. And volleyball, for me, it's so beautiful. I played when I was young. Today I watch so many volleyball via internet, via TV. I don't know. And for me, it's fantastic to talk with you. And I wanted to continue this conversation about your experience, for example, with the German men teams, and now with the women team. How is it for you now? You tell me it's a new experience, but you went to the Olympic Games in London in 12 with the German team. How was it for you then, and how do you realize the German volleyball today now with the female team?
Good. How was it? I was, people don't maybe know my story, but I was a coach. You have to understand that you need a lot of luck. If, like I said, I'm a player, I only played in Belgium in one team. I was never playing abroad. My national team of Belgium in that time never qualified for any tournament in the world, not for a European championship, not for a world championship. So I come from not so much, not super experienced situation. And in 2012, I was coaching my club for, I think, 5-6 years. There came this opportunity that the German national team was looking for a coach who also speaks German, and I speak German. Okay. That is the biggest reason why they took me is not because I know something about volleyball. They took me because they wanted a coach who speaks German. Yeah, and that I speak. And I took the German national team on the 1st of March. On the 1st of May, there was the first Olympic qualification tournament.
Yes.
You understand? Like, I roll into a team who is, that was in March 2012, who was 5 months before the Olympics. And I have to be very honest, we played the crucial qualification game for the Olympic Games against Cuba. There was a player with the name Wilfredo Leon playing in Cuba. He's not so bad player. Yeah. And we won that match in 5 sets, 28 in the 5th set. And I was a good coach. Huh? You understand? Like, there is a lot of luck involved. I always say, like, my favorite expressions is good coaches need luck. But if you are a lucky coach, you're also good.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe I'm just a lucky coach, but I started with a lot of luck. I rolled in there and I was on the Olympics before I realized I was on the Olympics. You started a new national team and 3 months later you're standing on the Olympics, and there it's something. We go to the quarterfinal, who was for Germany really a big success. Yeah. We did that year. We played the finals of the World League for the first time. I had a season with only above my dreams. Yeah, absolutely above my dreams, because, like I said, I come to Belgium. I don't think there's a Belgian coach. There are not many Belgian coaches in other teams on Olympics, and so I was, not a typical guy. So in that way, what I remember, it went all too fast. Yes. Sometimes things are going too fast but then I tell coaches always, if you train, jump on the train, because maybe the train is only passing one time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the total life lesson. I go often to companies talk, and then I always do the same. Like, listen, people, if you ask people who are going to die, people like this, who in the last months,
yes,
and you ask them what they regret, the number one regret is always the same. They regret the chances who were there and they were not taking them. They never regret the chances they took and they failed. They never regret.
Yes.
And that's something in life. I go back as a player. I made a choice. I had offers from abroad.
Okay. Then
I became a coach and I was thinking like, but now I will. So I took the chances who came, and the train was doing a fantastic travel to the world, where I say like, wow, how nice. I mean, the only problem that we both probably have is we get old. Yeah, and I would like to do it again. I would like to do it again exactly the same. Understand? With also the failures and the problems and so on, because it was so nice moments. But to have nice moments, you also need bad moments, because otherwise you don't know what nice moments are. So in that whole thing, I always tell the people, if you have a chance, take the chance.
Yes.
Yeah, and we will see where it ends. I talk too much, Alfredo.
No.
That's my problem, I know.
That's my style, because I'm not a journalist. I'm working in another thing. I'm working in advertising and design. But I do this with so much love and respect for volleyball. And my brother is journalist and gave me some tips. But I like all the time that my interview, I talk with all the freedom as you're having right now. Because sometimes the interviewer interrupt the person who was talking, and I don't like it. It's not my style. So keep free to talk anything you want, and that I like this so much, and I like to talk with people like you, because many people follow me around the world, in South America and Europe and in Asia also, and I want to show them that volleyball is so beautiful, that especially volleyball not only today, but before in the 70s, in the 60s, there was so much volleyball, especially in South America, where we don't have many newspapers or information or media that show us that this sport was so big, especially in Chile. I'm from Chile and South America. I'm live near Argentina and Brazil, and there are monsters of volleyball and sport. So for me, it's very important to show the people in the world who follows me that someone like you are making so much history in volleyball. In coming from Belgium, a small country, a small sport country, that makes, especially today, so much notice, so much information about the female team, the coaches, and what especially you are doing. We were talking about your experience in Germany. Now you're back as a coach from the female team, a very good team. How is it for you now to coach these women from Germany? Germany has always a very large history in female volleyball. As I told you, I lived in Germany as a child. My father coaches female volleyball in Germany, and we received the Deutsche Volleyball magazine many years. And so I could read many articles about the volleyball in Germany. They're trying to get better. Then with the unification with the ex-DDR, they have a better team. How is it for you to be part of this history of the German female team? And what are your goals? The Olympics in Paris, or I don't know. Please tell me, what are your thoughts about the female in volleyball in Germany?
But first I go back. I think it's interesting about East and West Germany, and like for people, Chile, of course, is far away, but in 2012, it was still an item, like the two parts of Germany coming together.
Yes.
But that's gone. That's gone. Now we are 10 years later. We are not talking that you don't feel anymore. It becomes one big country. So it takes 20, 30 years to a country get and unite. Eh? The second, of course, there is a big history, but we have to be fair that the last years were not so successful for the team. Eh? Yes. What's my role? I mean, I started with a totally different concept. That is that when I talk with the players, a lot of players didn't like it to be in the national team.
Really?
For different reasons. For different reasons, they were not so satisfied to play national team.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was not this year. I was not starting with the concept we are going to win this and this and this. My concept was at the end of the season, I wanted to say this was a summer I loved.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved to play national team. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was free, and that can be for different reasons a good summer. It can be because we trained physically very good, I think. So players coming from the national team, I'm very happy. Almost all my players play very good in their clubs.
Yes.
So I'm very satisfied. I mean that the national team was a very good preparation of the clubs where people who don't understand volleyball, but players make money in the clubs. In the German national team, you earn zero.
Okay.
Yeah, very easy. And that's no problem. But so that's one. I mean, the second is because players felt that they were getting better individually during the summer. Mm-hmm. And the third is, and that's something I'm always pushing for, a national team should be really a team of friends. Mm-hmm. Because why? In a club, you play with people from all the world.
Yes.
And those people are changing almost every year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In a club, there's never 2 years the same team. In the national team, you play together for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yes.
This should be your best friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think if I did something really good in Poland is the national team under my, like the team I had in 4 years, they became best friends for life. I still see if they go on holiday, my players in Poland go on holiday with other players on the national team.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they are. And then I smile. That is important. That was not in Germany. So the whole summer we were working on those 3 elements. Get better yourself, but not only on volleyball, also personal level. Take care that you go to the club in the best possible condition and have a group of friends together. And that was not working so good in the Volleyball Nations League, but in the second part was working much better. Okay. And to be honest, we were very good before the World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe nobody knows, but we played one official game before the World Championship. It was a match against Brazil.
Okay.
We won 3-1. We won 3-1 5 days before the World Championship. Brazil played the final. We
Yes.
were not even close.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we were not managing to play so good in the World Championship as we were thinking for. That was a small disappointment.
Yes.
I think that's the challenge for next year.
Mm.
Yeah. But after I waited 2-3 weeks and then I called all my players. Yeah. And I was listening. Yes, they were agreeing that the targets we had, we were doing.
Perfect.
Yeah. And they are not, people make mistake. You don't play volleyball only to win. Mm. Winning is a consequence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you have to do other things. And if you do other things good, you get the chance to win. Mm. And that you can never, no coach can come here and tell you win. But in my eyes, good coaches bring a team to the chance to win. Mm. And if you have a lot of chance to win, you will win one day.
Yes.
If you never come to the chance, you never win. But sport is not so predictable that you go there and you win. Like I explained that I won with Germany in 2012. We qualified the Olympics, 2018 the fifth. Mm. In 2016, we missed the Olympics playing against world champion Poland in the fifth set by, I think, 15-13. Yeah. So I think I did a good job because I gave Germans the chance to qualify.
Yes, yes.
And then sometimes you need a bit like the one ball, but sport is not so predictable. You always can win. Eh?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is something. I don't know. Sometimes I forget where I started my whole explanation. Eh? Yeah. So, but that I won't explain.
Fantastic. And going back now, I want to ask you about the experience with the Polish team. When you won the World Championship in 2018 in Italy and Bulgaria, how was it for you? You told me right now about the concept about friendship. It's so important, and I could see this team of Poland playing this championship, and it make many sense what you're saying, that we can watch a team of friends playing together, knowing each other. When you sometimes play with a friend, sometimes you don't have to say nothing to him. You know he's beside you and he wants the same thing as you. He knows where to move. And I saw this in this Polish team. Obviously, they were defending the 2014 World Championship gold medal. But how was it for you as a coach? And this difficult championship with so many great opponents like Brazil, like the Russian, like the Bulgarian. I don't know. How was it for you to win this championship? And the final was impressive. And please tell me your experience in this history with this Polish team.
Like I said, I went to Poland, played in 2014 world champion. Mm-hmm. But after then, a lot of players quit. I mean, not a lot, a couple of really crucial players. Mm-hmm. So, for example, in 2017, a really bad year, they were only taking, I think, place 11 on the European Championship.
Yes.
So there was a team, they had not a good Olympics in 2016. They didn't have a good European Championship in 2015. So when I took that team, they didn't have a team where players so confident.
Okay.
Yeah, they know that we are good players, but they were telling we cannot play good together, coach. Yeah, and that's why I started with this. But play together first. Yeah, don't talk about winning and losing, but play together. Finally together. And I gave this totally different stories, but we had a training camp in the south of Poland, where the highest mountain of Poland is, the Mount Risse, and it's 2,500 meters. So one day we went to climb the mountain instead of training. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you do those, and not everybody, it was not an obligation. I'm always like free. Okay. There was a play. We don't want to train today. We are going to climb a mountain. Huh? Yeah, and I think this kind of things, they will always come back to that.
Yes.
Because that stays in your mind. If you can climb and it's not an easy mountain to climb. It's not just a walk up. It's really with You have to really climb on rocks, and it's really a challenge to climb that mountain with some risk. There's really some risk involved. If you do that together, yeah, then in my eyes, there is a chance that you create. And we did a lot of things too. I always do that. I believe a lot of things where you create a team and it doesn't happen directly. It's a long-term process.
Yes.
Yeah, the best what I hear from my players in Poland was always that they were looking forward to the start of the season of the national team.
Okay.
That's the best sentence I could hear.
Yes.
Because it means they like, and not for me, don't think it's about the coach. It's about seeing their friends together again. The first thing of Poland is always the most beautiful. I'm not part of it, but I see how the guys are walking in and so happy to see each other again. Yeah, and that's something is not only on the personal level. We all know that having friends where you can really trust on, it's so important in life. Yeah, if you want to perform, you need good people around you. Yeah, my staff, I don't select my staff on how good they know volleyball.
Okay.
On how good they can scout. I select my staff on how much I can trust them. Yeah, because you have to trust it. And I do a bit different there. I always select my staff on people who are different than me.
Okay.
Yeah, you understand? It's very easy to find people who are like you. So like, that's not, no, I find people who are different from me, but I know I can trust them. That's the most crucial. And it's not about good and bad. That I find not important. Yeah, I think that's my players need a situation where they can trust each other. Yeah, I think you still perform. It's possible without, I think, but it's much easier if you are friends together.
Absolutely. And what you're telling me remembers me when I interviewed Pavel Selivanov from the old Russian team who played the final in Montreal in 1976.
76.
Yes, against Poland. And I asked him about this final, and he was so emotional because he remembers very well this final. And he told me that before the finals, the Russian team were concentrated and watching videos. The coaches were very serious. And he told me that the Polish team were making a barbecue, drinking beer, laughing, singing together. So it make many sense what you're telling me about the passion or the style that the Polish volleyball player love and make this living about volleyball. I have also the great opportunity to interview Peter Nowakowski, and he told me in kindly the same what you're telling me about the respect they have for each other, the trust they have for the teammates. So it's very impressive what they have done in Poland and in volleyball, and now obviously with the female team too. And tell me please, Vital, as we were speaking about your volleyball career, how was it for you after Poland? You won the gold medal. Now, do you want an Olympic medal, or it's not important for you, or you want to continue to enjoy volleyball, to live volleyball as a sport, as a part of your life?
I first want to tell something else. You're talking about Poland, and we are going to talk about football World Cup now. Yeah, because you are from. I think Argentina will win the World Cup.
Everybody says so. Everybody says. Yeah. I don't know.
And you know why? You know why? Because they took 4 barbecues with them and 900 kilo of meat.
Absolutely.
It's a style they don't stay in the.
Yes.
Yeah, and they don't stay in the best hotel. They stay in a very normal place. I think even a kind of youth hostel.
Okay.
Yeah, they can do barbecue, sit together, and eat and drink. And I think it's wow. I was reading this thing like, yes, in my heart, Argentina is my favorite for the barbecue with the meat. They are my favorite. Yeah, because I like this. I like this concept where you try to make a team, because that Mr. Messi can afford a better hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and he chose to go there. And I think like, wow, I hope they are winning, but believe those kind of concepts. And so that I think we will see in a couple of weeks if I'm right or not about this, but I'm so curious how Argentina is playing, because from concept, I believe in that so strongly. Yeah, that's one. You talked about Poland. I mean, yes, but Poland, I have to be honest, like I said, I had great moments. I also failed. I failed to take an Olympic medal in Tokyo.
Yes.
Yeah, and that also will always stay with me. That's what all coaches have to know. You cannot win always.
Yes.
And it's not that I'm happy. I was not sleeping for days, and I was crying for days, and it hurts still hurts like hell. But they smile because that's life, coach and player, and it's normal in life. You have highlights and you have disappointments. Yeah.
So it's
and that will always be there. It will always be there. It has to feel like a disappointment, because otherwise it never feel like a highlight. Mm-hmm. If you lose and say it's not important, you will never come there. So it has to hurt. So that I guess I will never win an Olympic medal, because that I tried and I give up. But the German national team, I have the ambition to go to the Olympics. That's the ambition. Mm-hmm. And the German national team was not on the Olympics, I guess for the last 20 years. Yeah, something like this. And maybe the last time there in 2000, 2004, I'm not sure. Something like this.
Yes.
More than 20 years, they were not on the Olympics. Mm-hmm. So the challenge with the German national team is to go to the Olympics. But my bigger challenge is to make a team. Yeah, to make a team who can go to the Olympics. But yes, Olympics, I have to be honest, Tokyo was a disappointment, also on the human level, because we had this Corona time.
Yes.
I love to go and talk. Normally, I visit every country on the Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah, go. Now, I was not allowed to go to other countries. You were sitting there with your mask. Mm-hmm. You ate on the table. It was the worst in my life. Sitting on a table with box around you.
Yes.
Yeah, because London was so amazing. I always tell that I had the chance, and it's really, even now, it's even more unique. In London, I had the chance to sit on a table with Kobe Bryant, and drink a coffee with him. And these are things you never forget. And it's not about volleyball, but it's about... And then I was talking with Kobe Bryant. It was like a meeting. We were with 7-8 people and Kobe Bryant. Okay. And the passion of this player was amazing. When he was talking about how he was living, how he was thinking, then you see always the same. All top players are people who are here. They are like crazy busy with their sport.
Yes.
You cannot be the best in the world if you just sometimes something. They are, and that I still remember from the meeting with Coach K, was it, and Kobe Bryant, that Kobe Bryant had this passion. I was like, yes, I understand. Because he has this amazing passion for the sport.
It's amazing what you're telling me. And sometimes when I speak with people like you from other countries, with the difficulty sometimes with the language, I have spoken with Russian players, with a friend who helps me to translate, or for different countries. But volleyball has a language. We can understand what you're telling me about the game, about your feelings about the championships. And I have learned this with so many interviews about to know that we are all volleyball lovers, all crazy about the sport, because volleyball is so easy to fall in love. So it's fantastic. And as you told me recently, Tokyo was very strange. Was a very strange championship. It's so sad, because we all wanted that Tokyo would be the Olympics. We all dreamt about it. Fantastic, with the courts full of people. But I know sometimes they are a challenge for all of us, for the viewers and the coaches and the players. And now we hope that Paris will be this championship we all dream about. And I wanted to ask you now, Vital, that we spoke that you played as a setter, okay? And the setter, my brother was a setter, is a setter. We still play as a senior team. The setter is always a different person, okay? They have a different way of looking the game to play. And do you think that this experience for being a setter has been important for you as a coach, or maybe not, to visualize your tactics, your way of playing, or what do you think is the most important thing that you put on your teams to play well? We spoke about your kind of living, or your kind of making volleyball, but do you think being a setter or not is important for you, for your life as a coach?
I think there are a lot of coaches who are setters, so because I guess that setters are obliged to think about the game more.
Yes.
But I also see coaches who are very good who coming from other positions. So it's not that it's only setters, but I think there's a higher percentage of setters coming as coaches. That's one.
Yes.
But I start from the opposite. I had in my first year as a coach, I had an American libero. His name is Richard Lambourne.
Okay.
And the guy I think he won gold on the Olympics before that. And one day I had a fight with him. And I explained to him what I wanted from him. And he turns to me and says, "Coach, you were a setter. You know nothing about receiving a ball." And I was standing there with my, we call it the teeth, a mouthful of teeth. So I was standing there. I had no answer. I went home and I was thinking, the guy is right. I'm a setter. I was a terrible blocker. I was a very good server. As a youth player, I also played spiking, so I knew how to spike a bit, and I was a setter. But blocking and receiving, I was a disaster. So what I did in the next summer, for 3 months, I studied every receiver from Europe, every action, every 3 months long. And the next season, I feel also today, I feel more a specialist in receiving and blocking than other elements. Because setting, I still explain to my setters from my feeling,
yes, but
not from my knowledge. But reception and block, I am a specialist. I can sit with everybody on the table and discussing about the reception technique. Even I was almost not doing it. So it's showing also that you don't need to be a setter to be a good coach. But I think it's not easy. You need a lot of studying for a spiker to learn what setting is. It's a very difficult aspect. Maybe it's easier for us to learn what passing is. But like I said, I need a lot of studying in the elements I was not good. And the funny thing is, I feel now the most confident in that. I feel the most confident if I have to start a discussion about block. Okay. And I was this player who blocked one ball every 3 matches, not more. I could not block. I had a big mouth, a big block. So that was my tactic. So in that way, I think it's sometimes interesting to see I don't know. I think we need smart people as coaches. And smart is not even intelligent. Smart is understanding how to use situations and so on. It's not even a pure intelligence. But that is, but are good coaches who know to use when the situation is there and not who know emotional intelligence becomes very important. How to handle people. You talked in the beginning. We talked about referees. Last summer. I was giving a Zoom conference to the referees on international level to explain them my way of thinking. And it was very interesting because often they cannot follow.
Yes, absolutely.
If I lose my 2 timeouts and my team come 20-16 behind, I take a yellow card. I think it's very normal because after my 2 timeouts, I only have one way to break the game. That's to take a yellow card. So the referee don't understand why the coach is mad on him, but he has to understand the coach is mad on him because the coach wants to break the game.
Absolutely.
And I go back in the World Finals in 2019. I went with my second team from Poland there because we had Olympic qualification. We made a tactical choice to not go with the best players to USA and have this long travel. So I went with my second team. And then I took even 2 times a red card on purpose. We were behind, and I wanted to show my young team that I never stop fighting. Okay. I get yellow. No, I don't stop fighting. I get red. And the funny thing is, the 2 sets, I took a red card, and we were 4 points behind. We were both times winning the set. Of course, then afterwards we stand, wow. I say, yes, of course. it's like you have to be, and it's a challenge. The challenge is street smart. So I don't believe in intelligence. I believe in this volleyball intelligence. Yeah, that makes a good coach, and that is something you also learn, and you have to be aware of.
Yeah, fantastic. And
but I also failed. I often failed. I took so many yellow cards and red cards when it was not working. So don't think it's like
I know. I watch
one who believe that it's I do, it's going. I do, it's going. No, but you do, and you do it with a reason.
I know. Yeah. We have seen this, and I wanted to ask you also. Yes, we have seen this, for example, in the World Championship in Italy. I think it was a game against Argentina. There was also a fight because of a referee. I don't know. It was very, very special. I remember this, and Velasco went crazy. I know. I wanted to ask you about your. I sometimes ask the interviews about when you started to play volleyball when you were young. Do you have some person, some players you wanted to emulate, or were you idol? Because in Chile we saw the Argentinian players, the Brazilian players, and we thought, oh, I want to play like Bernard Rahman, like Raul Quiroga. And do you have some players when you started you wanted to emulate, or was your idol, and you thought, oh, sometimes or someday I will play like him, or I will block like the other players? Or maybe not. Maybe sometimes people tell me, no, I didn't have any idols. I wanted to play like me. How was it for you?
I mean, first of all, people forget sometimes I come from the time before internet.
No, I know about. But you saw many.
I mean, I will give you. It was so interesting. I signed with this professional club at 16 years, but I signed a contract without ever seeing a professional match. I was never seeing a professional match. I signed with a club. I had no idea how they played. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I was there, I had no idea who the players were. Yeah. So for me, they were just players. Yeah. In that way, I was very, because you live in a small country like Belgium, I had almost no idea about international volleyball. I guess in my time that Coach Kweli was playing in the play, I didn't know it. So to be saying that I was a player who was the one I was looking to, I don't really have, because there was nobody. There was no, you could not go on internet and find someone. I think otherwise I would have found someone. So I think in that way I was myself. And then coaching is the same, because I was coaching in Belgium, and I was never thinking. I made the word bucket list. You know what a bucket list is?
Yes.
As a list, write down from the things you want to achieve in your world, like in your life, what you achieve in life. Yes. I mean, I made a bucket list when I was just starting as a coach. My dreams as a coach were just to walk one time in the Olympic Village, not even to participate, to be able to walk the Olympic Village. Yeah, just to see how it is on the outside. That was my dream. And my second dream was to be 1 year in a club outside Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah, that were my dreams as a coach. So I remember that I met Andrea Anastasi, who's a really big coach the first time. And I just started to coach and I had no idea who the guy was. Yeah, afterwards I was ashamed, because then I was really a top coach. But I was this stupid Belgian man walking in a world he knew nobody. Yeah, nobody knew me, and I know nobody there. So I'm really a homemade, self-made player coach. Yeah, I had a really good coach, a Swedish coach with us. We had more international. He learned me a lot. I had some international coaches, also an Argentinian guy in my club. Yes. But myself, I come from a village. From a village, and I had not more. I was lucky to get the time to perform it. Don't think there was any example, or like I had no idea how Italian coaches were coaching, or how Brazilian coaches. I had no, just an idea. I had no other chance. I had to do and then sometimes I found out that some people were copying me. I thought I did something. Oh, this guy is doing. I was not aware.
Fantastic. The Vital Heynen style. It's a very inspirative for many people around the world. And I want to thank you again for this conversation. For me, it's very interesting because it's not always about volleyball. Sometimes it's about life. It's about passion. It's about what we think about the sport for ourselves, as person, not only as a sportman or sportwoman. And I wanted to also thank Jan De Brandt for making possible this interview. I know you're very busy, and I wanted to thank you and send you many best wishes from Chile. So far here in the south of the world, but we love volleyball. We are crazy about volleyball, and I want to also invite you to keep in touch. I have the great opportunity and the great honor to be in touch with many of the great volleyball players I saw and I dreamed about when I was a young player here in Chile. And thank you enormously for your time again, Vital. I'm so happy to meet you and keep in touch again. And for me, it was a fantastic conversation about your volleyball career, and wish you many success with the German team, with the female German team. I love what you said about this, about making a team of friends. I like this so much. I have a team of friends from the school, and every year we met and we go to the championship from people from other schools, and we make a lot of barbecues, and we drink a lot of beer, but we love this because we are friends. We love volleyball, and I think this kind of living makes us happier. So I thank you enormously, Vital, for your time, for being able to talk about your volleyball career, and send you many good wishes from Chile to you and your family, and Belgium and Turkey, and I don't know, in Germany, wherever you are.
Okay, thank you, and maybe we meet, maybe we don't meet. That's life. Stay happy and healthy. That's the challenge.
Absolutely.